everyone, this is Charanjit. So today I'm going to start a mock. We will going to do some practice question for the CPC. These questions we got in the exam in 2024. This mock is with the answers. So this is not specific questions only. This is with the answers. So whenever you are going to practice, you get the answers at the same time. We are going to use or we are going to pick two question from each series so that you can get an idea what type of question we are going to see in the examination or the AAPC CPC examination. So let's get to the topic. So the first question is from series 1. In this question we will learn about the modifier and the CPT, and the first and the important technique is rule out technique. Your CPC exam is majorly based on the rule out technique. You should know how to use the rule out technique, and you should know how to match the procedure description with the description of the CPT. Let's start. So in this question, patient is telling patient has returned to the operating room to aspirate a seroma that has developed from a surgical procedure that was performed 2 days ago. A 16 gauge needle is used to aspirate 600 cc of non-cloudy serous igneous fluid. What should be the code? So again, return to the operating room. Seroma that has developed from the surgical procedure. So seroma is developed due to the surgical procedure that was performed 2 days ago. So this is in the global period. Patient had a surgical procedure 2 days ago and now developed the seroma due to that surgical procedure. So let's try to find out the code first, then we will go through the any exceptions. So our code we have 10140, 60 and 80. Let's pull these codes in the manual. So let's say 120, 10140. Scroll it up and reach to the 10140. In the exam you will get the hard copy, so you don't need to scroll it, but as right now I does not have the hard copy to represent you, I prefer PDF. So 10140, here we go. So 10140 is for X surgery. Patient is not coming for the X surgery, so we have to rule these two out. We have to rule out these two. Now we are left with 10180 and 10160. So 60 is incision and drainage of the abscess. These are some example of the abscess and what kind of abscess are included in this code. Then we have a 80 for the pilonidal cyst. Patient does not have the pilonidal cyst. It does not have any documentation. Patient is coming to aspirate a seroma. So we have to rule out 10180. Patient is just coming to aspirate the seroma which is developed due to the surgery. So we are left with 10160. So in the 10160 is incision and drainage of abscess, carbuncle, suppurative, cutaneous, subcutaneous abscess, cyst, furuncle and parenchyma. This is for simple and single. We does not have any documentation of complications like brain placement or any kind of complication. We does not have that. So we will consider this as a simple. Now we just have a one option for 10160. This will be our answer. And the reason why 78 has been used, because this is a procedure done in the post-operative period. Whenever there is a complication occur during the post-operative period, we have to build that procedure with the 78 modifier. Remember one thing, that 78 modifier is a procedural modifier. You cannot use this with the ENM. So if there is doctor is doing the ENM during the post-operative period for an unrelated condition, you have to use 24 in that scenario. Let's move to the second question. So in this, patient had the cyst in her chest, come to the head and still painful even though she has been on antibiotic for a week. Let's scroll a little bit more. Offer to drain it for her. After obtaining the consent, we infiltrated the area with the lidocaine and epinephrine. These are the anesthetics. And prep the area with the Betadine. Now doctor incised. So what doctor did? He incised and opened the cyst in the relaxed skin tension lines of her chest and remove the cystic material. So he did the incision first and then drained the cystic material. There is no obvious purulence. We are going to have her clean with this Q-tip. We will let it heal on its own. Doctor is not doing any suturing to close or not doing any repair. So now we have these options 10140, 6160 and 60 again. Just a second. Okay. So we already know the meaning of 10140. This is for egg surgery. Does patient have any egg? No, patient have the cyst. So we have to rule this out. We are left with these three 60, 61 and 60. So let's say if it is complication. Complicated means if doctor plays any drainage drained device to remove the pus or to remove any cystic material, but the doctor does not place any drain, so we will consider it as a simple, and there is only one cyst, so it is single also. So there is only one, so it will be a simple because we does not have any drain placement and we does not have any documentation of the complication which is occurred during the procedure. So what we are going to do, we are going to use 10060. Now we have two options. We have already ruled out A and C. Now we are left with A and D. So sorry, not A and D, B and D, and the difference between these two, ICD. Now we have to look at the ICD and find out what will be at the code. While solving the exam, you have to refer the tabular only for the ICD. You are not going to review the ICD index part to find out the code. What you have to do, you have to go into the tabular and locate these codes. So let's look at the L72.3 first. IJKL. Let's start. Try 700 page number 750. 800 IJKL. Okay, 820. Here we go. So this is LCDs. Our code is L72.3. So scroll it up little bit to reach L72.3. So we have reached to the 76. Here we go. L72.3 is for the sebaceous cyst. So let's see if we have a documentation of the sebaceous cyst. Patient have the cyst in her chest after obtaining cystic material. So we just have a documentation of cyst. Now look at the code at R22.2. So reach to the R22.2. Let's try 1200 page number. No, let's try 1050. R22.2.
तो आप क्या करिए गाड़ी की
R22.2. R22.2. This is localized swelling, mass and lump and trunk. So we clearly have a documentation of cyst. So we have to rule out this code. Our answer should be L72.3. So answer should be L72.3. I'm scrolling with few more questions from this MOOC. You have to attempt these questions on your own. Just pause the video and try to attempt these questions. I have highlighted the answers in the yellow so you can know what will be the answers. But before checking the answer, please try to attempt these questions. Let me pick few more questions from the 2 series. So let's try this one. A 21-year-old slipped on a patch of ice on his sidewalk while shoveling the snow. When he fell, his left hand was wedged under his body. His index finger was dislocated. So his index finger was dislocated. After manipulating the joint back into the normal alignment, the surgeon fixed the dislocation by placing a wire percutaneously through the carpo-metacarpal joint. reach out to the options. So we have 6608. Let's reach out to the options. So that was 266 26608. Just give me a second. 6608. Here we go. So 6608 is percutaneous skeletal fixation of metacarpal fracture. Patient have the fracture at the carpometacarpal, and doctor manipulate the joint back into the normal alignment. And for dislocation, so his left hand was wedged under his body and his index finger was dislocated. So after manipulating the joint, surgeon fixed the dislocation by placing a wire percutaneously into the carpometacarpal joint. And this one is a metacarpal. Let's review the another one. 26650 is close reduction. It is not the close reduction, so we have to rule this out. This is a percutaneously, it has been reduced percutaneously, so this is not a close reduction, and wire has been placed, so this has been ruled out. Let's see, 2706 266706. We don't have the option 706, so 76. Percutaneous skeletal fixation of intraphalangeal joint, dislocation. So now patient had a dislocation. The major difference between 776 and 608 is a fixation of a metacarpal fracture. Patient does not have the fracture, so we have to rule out this, and the answer should be 26776 because patient have the dislocation. We already only have the one option. This should be the answer, so I'm not going to go through with the F1. However, F1 modifier is a toe modifier or the finger modifier to represent which finger has been affected. For the index finger, we have used F1 modifier. So I'm scrolling it slowly so that you can go through with the codes or with the question which we can expect from the series 2. Just try to solve this question on your own. If you have any question or any queries, you can reach out through the comment section. I will try to answer your questions. So let's scroll it a little bit more. So you can just pause this video and go through with the question and try to solve this question. Let me take some ICD questions too. So okay, for today let's do the practice till the 2 series only. If you have any questions, if you want me to do further, or if you want me to change the process of going through the mock, that if you want, like we have to do questions, each question first, then only you want to do the practice, you can tell me in the comment section. So for now I'm stopping this video at this point only. If you have any comments or any feedback for me, you can just leave the comment in the comment section. Thanks everyone. Bye bye.